I'm sure that you've heard of emotional intelligence. Really, when it comes down to it, emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways. It also involves the ability to recognize and respond healthfully to the emotions of others. The World Economic Forum ranks emotional intelligence as the number one skill needed to help leaders be successful in their roles. I've spent the past 35 years studying the neuroscience behind why people do what they do, and I've used that knowledge to help build over 1,000 leaders in my career. More often than not, what we're going to talk about here is literally the determining factor between a leader that runs around like a chicken with their head cut off or a leader who walks into the room and everybody wants to listen to and learn from. So leaders with high levels of emotional intelligence, I've noticed that they've been able to do four things that kind of make them stand out. Leaders with really high EQ tend to have enhanced personal relationships. That means that they have the ability to really build that trust between the team and allow them to build that rapport really, really quickly and easily. The second thing that they're really good at is they're good at making decisions, because what they can do is they can take their emotions and all of the things that go along with that, they can put that off to the side. They can be aware of it, but they can also make really logical decisions in those times when other people can't. Another thing that they're good at is they have this increased self-awareness and regulation. Kind of goes back to the decision making. When you are aware of what's going on inside of yourself, you have the ability to not shut it off, but to regulate the emotions and regulate what's going on. And what this does is it allows them to be able to make better decisions, be able to interact with people more effectively, and really create some amazing things on their team. And then finally, these people, they tend to be the ones that are absolutely motivational and inspirational. Employees want to listen to these people. They tend to be the ones that walk into a room and everybody says, I just want to learn from this person. So let's talk right now about the things that you can do right now to increase your emotional intelligence or your EQ. The first one is mastering self-awareness. What most people don't understand is that the things that go on in our head, the vast majority of the things that happen are subconscious. We aren't aware of them. We aren't aware of what drives our behaviors. We aren't aware of the values that we actually have. And all of the traumas and experiences that we have had in our life really impact how we interact with the world. And these trigger certain emotions. Self-awareness is the ability that somebody has to understand what those triggers are. And not only understand what the triggers are, but also understand how that helps them or detracts them from being the type of person that they want to become. One of the easiest ways to get started in becoming more self-aware is to take a personality assessment. Now, listen, there are hundreds of personality assessments out there, but the one that I use with my clients and the one that we use in the boardroom most often is the 16 personalities. And I'm going to put a link down here in the comments and probably just underneath me talking. This is a website that you can go and you can take the 16 personalities assessment, and it's for free. I mean, you can pay and download some more information. But this just starts to tell you some of the things that drive you and what are the things that might be influencing you. So that would be something that I would strongly suggest. And the 16 personalities is based off of tons and tons of research. So there's a lot of validity to it. The second thing that you can do to help increase your emotional intelligence is recognize the impact of the fear of failure. In everybody's heads, most people, there are voices that are really honestly lying to us. And these voices, if you really listen to them, they're saying things like, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not attractive enough, you are whatever the case may be. And these are voices that really kind of, the volume gets turned up when we're about to do things. Fear of failure stops a lot of people. What I want you to understand about failure is that failure is when you fall down, but choose not to get back up. Every single person out there falls down. We all make mistakes. We all do stupid things. But those who truly fail are the ones who don't get back up. Fear of failure is probably stopping you from accomplishing a lot of things. So recognize that those voices that are in your head, they're lying to you. You're not going to fail. What's going to happen is that you're going to make mistakes, but my suggestion and my plea to you is don't look at mistakes as the end. Look at them as the beginning of a learning that you can take forward with you. Key number 3 is based in behavioral psychology. And so what behavioral psychology says is that if you want to become someone, or if you want to act a certain way, you have to fake it until you make it, basically. So start now. So key number 3 is to force yourself to stop micromanaging. A lot of leaders who have low emotional intelligence tend to micromanage. And the reason that they do that is because they're afraid of losing control. Now, you may or may not consciously be aware of that, but that is what drives a lot of micromanagement. Not being able to be in control of the situation, the results, being able to look competent, etc. What I'm going to suggest to you is that you intentionally force yourself to stop micromanaging. You know those times where you feel like you just need to follow up, or you just need to send that email or that text to make sure that your employee is actually doing what you need them to do? Don't do that. Stand back, give your people trust, because if you want them to trust you, you have to trust them first. Key number 4 to improving your emotional intelligence is recognizing that leadership is not a solo act. You don't have to do this alone. A lot of times people avoid trying to connect with other leaders or trying to find mentors because they want to look competent within themselves. But when you surround yourself with people who are there to have gone through the same things that you have gone through, what happens is that they can speak to you and they can teach you things that they're going through or have gone through. And you get this bounce back effect. Success is never, ever a solo act. Successful people recognize that they have to surround themselves with intelligent people who can challenge them, push them, and help them to become the type of leader that they want. Key number 5 to becoming more emotionally intelligent is setting emotional boundaries. Emotional boundaries simply mean that you recognize when you're getting to a place where your emotions are getting a little out of control. It allows you this opportunity in this space to be able to either remove yourself from the environment or to do some tricks in your head to allow you to stop the emotions from overwhelming you. Some of the things that you can do around setting emotional boundaries is every single week, make sure that you set time to meditate, to pray, to go exercise, to get out in nature, whatever that may be. But you have to set boundaries around what you will allow to come into your life. And key number 6 in becoming more emotionally intelligent is be patient with yourself. You know, there are a lot of things in your life that you want to accomplish. It would be so wonderful if you would be able to hit those targets as quickly as possible. But many people become disappointed, despondent, and frustrated when they don't hit their goals as quickly as possible. As I said, after having done this for 35 years, the one key or the one thing that I have learned about accomplishing goals is that they very rarely happen when you think that they're going to. Be patient with yourself. Recognize that consistent effort over time leads to amazing things. But don't be frustrated when your goals don't come to you as quickly as you think that they should. If you've made it this far in this video, there's a pretty good chance that you are light years ahead of those around you, which is pretty cool if you think about it. Lots of people come to me and say, oh yeah, Jay, I'd love to become a leader of influence. But then when I say, okay, here's what I want you to do, they either ghost me or say, yeah, I'm really busy right now. So the fact that you're here tells me that you want this more than probably about 80% of the people out there. Let me let you in on a little secret that I've also learned. Okay, maybe not a secret, but something that I see in the clients who decide to take action in their lives. Usually, emotional intelligence is a significant part of what they need, for sure. And so they're able to pick up that skill. But emotional intelligence doesn't solve everything. It's just a piece. And there's usually either one or two more things that they need to learn before they really get traction in their lives and in their careers. They don't figure out what those things are. They get stuck. Like I said, I've been involved in leadership for over 35 years. Right now, I'm a consultant for Fortune 500 companies. I've built dozens of teams myself and have helped hundreds more become some of the most effective and powerful companies in their industries. But that took years to get to. And for a lot of those years, I was frustrated because either the training in the companies didn't really teach me what I needed to learn, or I didn't have someone there helping me to figure out which direction I was supposed to go in. I know that some of you watching this right now have been put into leadership roles really quickly because during COVID, there was either massive growth in your company or people left. And so there was holes that needed to be filled. And they picked you because you were really good at doing what you do. So you got the title and the business card, but now what? Unfortunately, your company is probably not going to come to rescue you because they've got other things that they're worrying about. Sound familiar? Let me help you. I've been looking for 5 motivated people who are sick of being stuck in their development and want to learn how to become a leader with massive amounts of influence within the next 90 days. In the Boardroom community, you'll be surrounded by leaders who are all striving to do the same thing. Figure out what's holding them and their teams back and drive towards more money, more time for themselves, and more freedom outside of work. It's everything that I've learned in 35 years of leadership packed into one community. This training is built off of neuroscience. And I do that to ensure that you get to the top of the mountain faster and get better results than literally anyone else. And the best part, this program has already helped over 1,000 leaders to evolve into the leaders that they really, really wanted to be. Let me ask you a quick question. The last time you went out for dinner, how much did the bill come to? There's a really good chance that what you paid for that meal will get you access into the community. I'm just saying. If you want to join us, comment the Boardroom below and I'll get you all the details. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get access to more of these videos designed to help you really in your development as a leader. Also, feel free to connect with me on my socials. The links are in the description. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.